In 3, 2, 1.
7 things we think you should know. I'm Jamie East, and this is a bonus Smart 7.
Hey there, I'm Jamie East, and this is a special edition of the Smart 7 made possible by the National Lottery.
7.
So after months of anticipation, the Men's World Cup's finally gotten underway in Qatar, and we've already seen the first Welsh World Cup goal since 1964. On this special Smart 7 episode, we're looking at local football, and you might know this, but since the inception of the National Lottery in 1994, its players have raised over £150 million to help those local football dreams come true. To find out more, I've got 2 special guests on this episode from the Bloomsbury Football Foundation. Rio Rosenberg's a coach and mentor. So Rio, tell me a little bit about you.
I always was playing for the boys, but I never got to be exposed to having a girls' team. And it was when I joined Camden, I think I was like age 10, and it's really the start. I was like, you know what, I could start to play here, and I got lots of confidence from my coach. The spark was just you fall in love with the game instantly, and it's something that I haven't been able to have in anything else that I've done in my life.
Our second guest is Charlie Hyman, who's the founder and CEO of Bloomsbury Football Foundation, who used National Lottery funding to improve the lives of young people. Charlie, it all started out pretty simply, right?
So Bloomsbury Football Foundation is a registered charity based in central London. We use the power of football to improve the lives of 5,000 children a week across 8 London boroughs. Sport is an incredible tool to help young people, bring people together, develop life skills, but if you can't afford it or the experience isn't great, you aren't able to reap those benefits. So we set out to change that and ensure that every young person can grow up really getting the full experience that sport can provide and reaping all the benefits that come from that.
Rio's originally from Highbury in North London, and she's coached both under-10s and under-14s girls teams. She's also captained Crystal Palace under-23s. What was that like?
Well, at the grassroots level, I've always been captain and also in school, so it wasn't really the role, it was more obviously the status of the club, and you're representing a lot more. And to me, I've always wanted to play for a Premier League club. It was like a dream of mine. So I think going onto the pitch, all my memories before of playing at grassroots club and now I'm here was pretty special. So I think it was a mixture of both. It's like excitement, but also you're nervous at the same time.
With her football experience, she's been able to help young footballers past the hurdles she faced, like breaking through the pressures girls face to stop playing football when they hit puberty and not having the financial assistance needed to deal with all the costs that come with playing at an academy. She's a real love of the game, and it's through Bloomsbury Football that she's been able to help young players flourish. They aim to create a sense of community and engagement amongst the kids that join them for a kickabout. They're not just trying to teach them skills through access to top quality footballing opportunities, they're also trying to mentor them, setting them up for challenges that may lie ahead later in life. Here's CEO Charlie to tell us a bit more.
Yeah, of course, and trusted coaches to go out there and ensure that the young people are looked after and are safe and have the right training to do so. Someone who can really build that relationship with the family so that the parents are happy to drop off their young people in their care, and that's a big part of what we do.
Over £150 million. No, that's not the price of your weekly shop or your electricity bill. That's the amount of funding that's been invested into helping football dreams come true through grassroots sport since 1994 as a whole, thanks to National Lottery players. That money's resulted in a lot of people being positively impacted by the work of organisations such as Bloomsbury Football, and that includes Rio's under-10s and under-14s.
It makes a massive impact because if I look at my experience, I wish I had the extra funding, or I wish I had what we have at Bloomsbury with the extra fundraising that you can get to help towards, because I didn't have access to a car, so I was always travelling to places and it costs a lot of money. Also the kit, you always have to pay for your kit, so there's so many barriers before you could even get onto a football pitch.
Football for men is not just about the game itself that takes place on the pitch, it can also have a huge impact on the lives of people away from it. Rio's always loved football, but she knows that financial barriers can seriously impact how much access young girls have to the game.
A lot of kids that turn up to football, you have no idea what goes on behind closed doors and what goes on at home and what struggles they may have, especially with the cost of living crisis at the moment. So it's so important as us as coaches that the hour that you have with the kids is the best hour that they have. And if we can take off that pressure for them of not having to worry about their kit or the monthly payment that you might have to pay, especially from grassroots, it still happens. So yeah, I think it just takes up a lot of pressure off the kids and they can just enjoy their football.
Each year, Bloomsbury Football are able to reach 5,000 children, concentrating on communities where they're most likely to miss out on sporting opportunities. In fact, 68% of the beneficiaries come from Camden.
I think that's the power that sport has. If you lead an active lifestyle, your mental and physical well-being will be maintained and improved. If you get out the house and meet other young people from different backgrounds, you socialise, that's only going to lead to happier time. And if you develop the life skills, you're more confident, you can communicate better, you're going to perform better in school and also have better chance of an amazing career. So I think that is the power that sport has, but we have to make sure that it's accessible and a great experience for the young people to get those benefits.
While access to sport's often the initial appeal to many children, the work of Bloomsbury Football can go far beyond that. Sometimes being part of a club or a team can come with some unexpected benefits.
Yeah, there's hundreds of amazing case studies I could tell. One that particularly springs to mind, this is actually about 2 years ago when I was still out on the pitch doing some coaching. There were two young boys who didn't speak a word of English, who had just moved over. They came along to one of the sessions that we were running on a council estate in Kentish Town, and the journey they've been on since that first session to now, both of them coming 5 times a week, they've built up a huge group of friends. Their English is fluent, they're super confident. Their parents have also made loads of friends in the local area, and they now feel a real part of that community all through their children's football. So I think that's just one of hundreds of stories like that where we really have brought people in and created that sense of community that they wouldn't have had otherwise.
Still to come on this special edition of the Smart 7 made possible by the National Lottery, we hear more from Rio and Charlie on how Bloomsbury football's a real force for good. Right after this.
Hey, I'm Jamie Easton. On this special Smart 7 episode made possible by the National Lottery, we're looking at local football. And you might know this, but since the inception of the National Lottery in '94, its players have raised over £150 million to help those local football dreams come true. We've been chatting to Rio and Charlie from the Bloomsbury Football Foundation and talking about how much good a simple game of football can do. 95% of children who've participated in a Bloomsbury football programme report feeling happier as a result. Which is great, Charlie. Is it easy to get the kids involved and motivated?
It could be FIFA, Netflix, YouTube. Yeah, we see those as our main competitor. That is what we're battling against to get, the young people to come along at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday. It really is come out and socialise, exercise, or sit at home and play FIFA. And the sad thing is that most of their parents feel that it's safer for them to be at home where they can see them than, let them go out on a pitch.
And does that translate into a wider good for the community?
Yeah, I think society is only becoming more divided, and it's never been more important to ensure that we're bringing people together from all different walks of life. We at Bloomsbury firmly believe that young people will lead a more open and empathetic lifestyle if from a young age they have built relationships and socialised with children who don't live on the same street as them, don't go to the same school as them. And so that's an incredible part of what football can do. And our pricing model allows every child to come along, and therefore you do get that incredible mix of people from different backgrounds playing together and growing up understanding of each other's differences.
There's nothing more levelling than a football team, is there? You're all the same with the shirt on, right?
Indeed, yeah.
While Bloomsbury Football Foundation are helping to make a real difference for 5,000 kids, there's some worrying trends in society at large. Over 50% of the UK's children are failing to meet the recommended threshold of 1 hour of physical activity a day, and 21% of children aged between 10 and 11 are obese. Those kinds of numbers really reinforce the importance of the work that organisations like Bloomsbury Football are doing and highlights how important the National Lottery funding is. So Charlie, what changes do you think society needs to make to see a lot more children getting fitter, happier and healthier, like your Bloomsbury football crew?
A recent report showed that £1 invested in sport for good brings a £6 return on social investment. So that's, saving the NHS money, saving the police money, because we have a healthier society with better life skills, better employability, contribution to the economy. So yeah, I think there's a clear investment case there. It shouldn't just be we want to make a donation because, we like sport. Actually, let's see it as something that can really improve society and make sense from a rational investment decision.
So by now you've had a chance to hear some of the story of Bloomsbury Football Foundation and how they're using National Lottery funding to make a real difference in their community. Let's catch up with Rio again, because there's more than just a physical element, isn't there? What's the other work you do with some of the girls you mentor?
So after the under-14s training session, it was on a Thursday night, we organised Good for Girls, and it was essentially half an hour to an hour where the girls could open up about maybe their home life or what's going on at school, but there was different topics and conversations. Sometimes we did like a Q&A panel. We brought someone in. We had a member of the England Deaf Squad come in and do a talk with the girls. Sometimes they love to put me on the spotlight and ask me about injuries and different experiences like that. But I think the space allowed the girls to open up about things away from the pitch and also highlighted the friendships that they made within that squad. I think a lot of them got to know who they are deep down as a person. And I did one of my FA projects on them about who am I, so their identity away from football. And they got to speak about their other hobbies. It could be music, gymnastics. I'm surprised most of the girls could do like flips and everything. I'm like, I can't do that, that's for sure. But just to open up about there is so much away from football and they should also focus on that, because sometimes you could get hit with an injury, and because our identity is so attached to football, they just don't know what to do with themselves. So I think it was a really good half an hour to an hour, but it made such an impact on the girls, and something that we're so proud that we've done that at Bloomsbury Football, and we continue to do that as well.
Thanks to National Lottery players, over £150 million has been raised to help football dreams come true since '94. It's amazing what the National Lottery does for people. It was great to be able to share what Rio and Charlie are achieving and hear about the incredible community at Bloomsbury Football.
This has been a bonus episode of the Smart 7 with the National Lottery. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. with the regular Smart 7. Written, produced and published by Daft